Hi guys, once again I greet you all. I'm delighted this time for yet another opportunity that God, our Father, has given us so that we can learn together. And so guys, let's attempt these two questions and see what we can get. So I begin with the question number 1. Let me read it. Given that alpha and beta are the roots of the equation, that is the equation where A, B, and C are constants expressed in terms of A, B, C, Roman 1, alpha squared plus beta squared, Roman 2, 1 all over alpha squared plus 1 all over beta squared. So guys, let's begin our question. So I will come and write here guys, I'll write the roots. The roots are that we are given alpha and we are also given beta, like that. So guys, what we do first is we find the factors pertaining to those two roots. And one of the factors is going to be x minus alpha, and the other one is going to be x minus beta. Guys, for you to understand here, this is where we are almost, when we are doing quadratic equation, we usually come and say that we have x minus the number, a constant usually gives us 0, or x minus a constant gives us 0. Remember in quadratic equation guys, when we are almost at the end of the question, there is something like this guys. Let me just show you. When we are almost finishing the question, we usually have something like this, like x minus 2 is equals to 0, or x minus 3 is equals to 0. So that now guys, from there, we usually come and say x minus 2 equals to 0. So x is equals to 2, like that. X minus 3 equals to 0. X is now equals to, of course we use or, x is equals to 3. So guys, what we are now doing is that we are coming now from this position where we are given our roots, and now we are reversing, so that now we come and say x is equals to 2. In our case, we shall say x minus, not equals to 2, x minus 2 is equals to 0. In our case, we shall have x minus beta is equals to 0. And in this other case, we shall have x minus beta is equals to 0. So guys, that is essentially what I am doing. And so guys, we continue. Then, these are our factors now. They are like this now guys. That is x minus beta, and then the x minus alpha, and then x minus beta. This is now equals to 0. Just as guys we have seen here, this is where we were coming from before we come and look for the factors guys, where we say x minus 2 is equals to 0. The initial factors would have been like this. That is x minus 2 to bracket x minus 3, and then we now come to this step. So guys, we are like reversing from what we are used to. That is when we are solving quadratic equation. So we continue guys. Now we are going to multiply so that we can find our quadratic equation. So our quadratic equation is going to be x squared, x multiplied by x, x squared, x multiplied by beta, minus beta, we shall have minus x beta. Then we shall have minus alpha x. Let me just write x alpha. And finally we shall have plus, because of this minus and this minus, alpha beta. This is equals to 0. And then from there we can come and put our terms together. That is, we put x, it should remain alone, minus x squared, that is x squared. Then we factor out here our x. So that now we can put bracket there, we put beta and then plus alpha. And the reason I have put plus is because of this bracket. Because if I want to go from this level to this level, I would have to take away the negative. And then I will remain with the positive, then I will remain with negative. So I hope you understand that. Then plus alpha beta equals to 0. So guys, I request you to observe very carefully right now. From there, we are going to have this. Let's have our equation. Our equation, the one we are given here, as you can see, is actually this. So I write that equation down and we compare now with what we have found. So we have a x squared plus b x plus c is equals to 0. So guys, if we compare that equation, there are two things we shall notice. We shall notice that our a here, here we have an a, but here we have nothing. Because that nothing is not 0, is actually 1. So we can actually say a is equals to 1. A is equals to 1. So what we are doing, guys, is we are comparing this general equation to whatever we have found here. So we are saying whatever the coefficient in front of x squared is a. The coefficient here in front of x squared is actually 1. Then we go ahead. When we come to this position, guys, of b, our coefficient here, x, this x is this x. I want you to note that this negative is not, this is not the x. The x should stand alone, just as it is standing alone here. So the negative will be part of the coefficient of x in this equation. And so we shall write b is equals to negative. That one must be there because it's not part of x, it's part of the coefficient. Then beta plus alpha, like that. Then we come to c. C is a constant. So if you look at this equation and this equation, then you shall notice that our c then should be equal to alpha multiplied by beta. Guys, let's us go now to the question. The question number 1 is actually alpha squared, Roman 1, alpha squared plus beta squared. That's what we are now supposed to look to. That is alpha squared plus beta squared. So that's what we are going to check for. For us to be able to get alpha squared plus beta squared, we check in this equation what can be produced by that. The easiest way, guys, to produce that is by squaring this. We square the b squared this side and this squared this side, and this is how we do it. We square b this side and we square this other side. By squaring, it means now our negative will be gone. So we shall have something like this. squared, like that. So finally guys, we shall have b squared is equals to, we square that. If we square that, we shall get beta squared plus 2 beta alpha plus alpha squared. Guys, I can give you a homework to square that one. We have just squared overhead for you guys. Unless you are very familiar with the squaring, you need to go and square it the way it's supposed to be. So after getting that, guys, I noticed something here. I noticed that here I have beta squared and I have alpha squared, just like I have here. So what I will do, I will make them the subject of the formula. But before that, guys, I have also 2 beta alpha. But now for 2 beta alpha, we have something here that is C is equal to that. So we can replace that with C. So I will write B squared equals to beta squared plus 2. I now replace the beta and alpha with C. Plus now alpha squared. I can now make the beta squared and alpha squared as the subject of the formula. So I will now bring my 2c this other side, so that we shall have b squared minus 2c is now equal to alpha squared plus beta squared. So guys, this is what we are looking for now, guys. But now guys, because we are taught to express them in terms of a, b, c, we can actually now come and put our a. Because our a is equals to 1, we can put it anywhere. Maybe we can put it here now, guys. Or we can even put it here. Any place, it's okay because it is 1 and 1 does not change the equation. So guys, this is now our solution for that. And so guys, that is good for us because we are still continuing. So that is our solution. Guys, we go to the next part. That is Roman 2. Let's find out what is Roman 2. For Roman 2, guys, we shall come and do this and write what is required. The required is 1 all over alpha squared plus 1 all over beta squared. So guys, we can actually come and try to manipulate this equation so that now let's find the LCM. The reason why I do that, guys, is because if you look at this, you can see this one is plus. It's not actually placed like this. So we are actually trying to put it in such a manner that we shall have something like this in this equation. And this one can be done by looking for LCM there, which will now get us alpha squared, beta squared. If you divide that and that, you get here beta squared plus alpha squared. Now guys, you can see that we have now what we want. So this one will now give us, in terms of a, b, c, we shall write this for this, that is a b squared minus 2c, like that. And then we come and replace for this, and this one can be replaced by our c. As you can see, the c has that. So if we square c, we shall have alpha squared and beta squared. And so that's what we'll now get here, c squared. So guys, that is our solution for that.